Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a DVD PTB review. Yeah, remember how the PTB was going on? And we kind of all just stopped? Either because we went to go play the shiny new other technical test, or for I don't know what reason. Usually we're playing it for at least a few days, even if we really don't like the things in it, like with Knight and Skull Merchant. But this one seemed like everybody was done after the first day, and I don't know why. So here I am to talk about everything because I didn't get a chance to do the patch notes before everybody made a video out of it because I was at work. So yeah, let's get into it. The Singularity, very fun, very fun. The EMPs are insane. I asked you all in the community tab how you all feel about it, and I think most of us can agree that he either feels balanced or the EMPs need to be toned down. Weirdly enough, there were one or two votes said nerf him. I don't know where that came from, but I do put it out there just to see if maybe I'm just off my rocker. But yeah, Singularity as a character, very fun, but can feel miserable when everybody learned about the EMPs. As for his perks, nothing to write home about, which is kind of unfortunate. That's the thing that I really don't like when chapters release is, yeah, you will have a new baddie that people will inevitably main and put time into, but the perks need to be a bit better so they also see some use. I can't see anybody putting these into their build regularly. Genetic limits, I can just put Fearmonger and it's free, like completely free every time, and I'd have more value than genetic limits. I, I don't know. It makes me sad. And then this, people are like, yeah, pair it with Infexus. Infexus is based off of your terror radius, which can, and usually is, be above 16. And if you're using that, you probably don't need this. This doesn't really do much. I'd say to make this worth it, bump this up to maybe 32. The hindered, I can't say that you need to increase the length because I can understand why that would be insane. And the cooldown is fine. So, yeah, that'd be the change. But again, I don't see this having too much use overall. And this is just abysmal. This is terrible. Make it either apply like eruption where you kick several gens and you get the effect off of each one, and that'd be cool to like stack. It'd be like, oh, you kicked two gens and they both popped. Now you have 14% haste for 30, and then whatever time the other one pops, and so something like that for 14% haste for a period of time. That'd be insane. That'd be worth it for the trade-off of you kicking gens and then letting them get completed. You become undetectable and super fast. Hilarious, but in its current state, abysmal. Then we have things that definitely need to be nerfed, and anybody that says otherwise has way too much survivor main head and possibly a little bit stupid because they don't know how math works. The character himself, looks cool. I like him. Troubleshooter is okay. Very one-offish. I'm okay with it. Made for this. Insane. This better not make it to live. Like, this is not okay. Just being injured and not exhausted gives you 3% faster, like, movement speed. And then that means that you can then still become exhausted. So, yeah, you can't use Sprint Burst with this. But you can still use Lithe. Or Smash Hit. Or what head on. Or the almighty E that I've actually been hit with a few times. You can still use those because you'll be 3% faster, and then it's like, oh, they're finally getting close. Let me lie the way. No, this is terrible. Absolutely horrid. Do not let this come. And then we go to Scavenger, which I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand why this is better than Built to Last. Built to Last, you only really get value out of it from the first time you do it, And this one doesn't require you to stop working on gens. Will immediately start working while you're on a gen, because once the toolbox becomes empty, you have fulfilled the requirement. Or you can, even just to make sure that it works, stop and start for 1 second or less than a second, if we're being honest. Just unclick and then click the button again and get right back into it and start building tokens instead of waiting 12 seconds to possibly get some time back and then waste 12 seconds to then use 12 seconds. I don't know how math was going over people's head, but Scavenger, it's still, I say all of this, it's not the worst thing. I'd like this to go to like 876 for the trade off, but it's also not going to be the defining factor in game. So I can see if it doesn't get changed. The map looks very pretty. Looks great, was a breath of fresh air, except it plays awfully. Terrible behavior map design in the gutter. I like I've said, I have joined the bandwagon of they don't know what they're doing when it comes to maps. It is awful. I am so disappointed in them for releasing this. Some of the loops are way too long. Everything's way too dense. It breaks line of sight every step of the way, which when you have a lot of the bad guy roster depending on that, horrible, horrible map. And then it's not like it's equally any good for the survivors. There's some that are just narrow back to back walls that are just a trap. And then other times you just, what's the landmarks? How do you find things? This is looks cool. Absolutely horrible. But the bad guy changes. All of this can be summed up with that's cool, I guess. Eh, eh. And then we go to Ghosty. These are good changes. Is it going to make him better? Probably not. If we're being honest, the thing that really needs to happen instead of this whole after being revealed nonsense, make it take longer to be revealed, if I'm being honest. But, beyond that, any changes to Ghosty that are quote unquote buffs, we will take. And then we come to something that even bad guy mains like myself are considering probably, busted. I don't know. Again, by all metrics, I have an entire video about this, so I won't dwell on it too long. But this should be insanely busted. It probably is busted, but nobody's complaining about it. So I'm okay with that. If the matches are running two people, they're just like, oh, I guess I'm gone, or I still got rolled in some. It is what it is. Like, this is definitely a very skill related thing. Until you get to the people that are going to be, you know, obviously tunneling and trying to get people out immediately. That takes out the skill. But hey, if people are wasting time trying to hit the shot and not hitting it, then you didn't really save any time. And if you do hit the shots, then you reap the benefits of it. Besides the fact that you got an injure on somebody through a wall or something like that. Perks. Pop got a buff. And it's okay. I don't use regression on this channel. So, yeah, happy for all of you that do. Deja Vu. It's pretty nice. I like it. Even as a bad guy main, I'd say that this is just nice. And Flashbang makes my heart happy. I want to see the Giga Chads running at me with a flashbang in one hand and a flashlight in the other. That'll be fun. Search bar. Finally took them long enough. I would, praise it if it wasn't a duh, you should have had this. Like this, it's good that it's finally in, but why are we going on year 7 and just now getting this? This is absurd. You should have included this a long time ago. No, item rules rework that I wish they would have just explicitly said Franklins will no longer work on special items, which I understand. Just like flashlights not working on bad guy powers, I guess we had to lose something too in return. So I'm a bit sad about how the interactions with Franklins are gone because that was pretty niche. It gave it more use beyond, oh, there's 4 medkits in the lobby. But, I guess back to not really using Franklins too often, unfortunately. Miscellaneous is miscellaneous, and then there's a bunch of bug fixes. So, yeah, those are my general thoughts on everything. Overall, I am excited for the anniversary chapter. I think that it'll be fine. I think it'll be fun. Hopefully, people will stop crying about how, oh, this game used to be fun when I could run the same 4 perks every game and play the game. Oh no, it was so much fun then. Oh, the days. I wish people stop being delusional on both sides. Really, I've seen a lot of it from a lot of people. It's just like, oh, but man, I used to have so much fun when I could only run the same exact thing every game for 2 years. Like, let's cut it out. And no, it's not. Oh, they finally gave us something fun, and you want to take it away. You know good and well that this is absurd. Cut it out. Cut it out. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Tell me yours. And yeah, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.